Welcome in, guys, to our recap every single NFL team for the 2022 season. We're in the NFC West, and we're going to talk about the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions going into this 2022 season. The Rams did make a couple of, at the time, some good signings. You had Bobby Wagner, who spent many years in Seattle, winning a Super Bowl in Seattle. They bring in Allen Robinson, which again, he's an okay second wide receiver. He's not going to be a starting wide receiver for defending. He should be a starting wide receiver for a reigning defending Super Bowl champions like the Rams. But they brought him in. And ultimately, other things that happened in the season. They lost Kevin O'Connell. He goes to the Vikings. Averill, who was great in the defense in the 2021 season, he goes to Denver to be their defensive core. And then the injuries come together. Cooper Kupp gets injured. Cooper Kupp was the MVP of this season. Aaron Donald got a big contract in the off season. Stafford got injured. Stafford got injured, so John Wolford started some of the games. He got injured. Then they're like, shit, we need a quarterback. So in the trade, the Panthers released Baker Mayfield, and they're like, shit, we need Baker Mayfield. He comes in, he does a decent job. They finished the season 5-12, third in the NFC West. In the draft, they got Logan Bruss, offensive guard, Coble Duran, Kyron Williams, Deron Kendrick, Daniel Wood, and AJ Akatrich. Again, they're over the salary cap. They need to get down. They need to trade a couple of these, maybe trade some players away. You don't have any first round or second round picks. No first round picks. It's okay doing that in the 2021 season because your eggs were all in one basket of getting to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl. The problem is with going all in is that once that's happened, you're going to have to now rebuild this team. And I've heard that maybe Sean McVay doesn't want to stay for a rebuild. He wants to maybe do something like be an analyst on ESPN or something like that. That's what I've heard. So I don't know if he's actually going to be committed to actually doing a rebuild. I mean, he's only 36, 37. He's still a young head coach in the NFL. So, again, this is going to be biggest task of his career is rebuilding this Rams team if he wants to even stay and do that job. Like I said, over the salary cap, a couple of players that I would trade, in my opinion. Jalen Ramsey, he's been good for the last couple of years. He's won a Super Bowl ring. He's 28 now. We'll trade him away, try to get some money for him. Other guys I would trade, Tyler Higbee. Think about trading him. He's like 29, 31, around about there. He's in his early 30s, so we'll trade away Tyler Higbee. Maybe a Cooper Kupp as well. Like, he's 29 as well. You could trade him. But I think they're going to keep him because of the injuries. They don't have OBJ anymore because they released him. He's not going to come back. Bobby Wagner got released. So, again, he had a pretty good season. Allen Robinson's still a wide receiver in Chicago for some weird reason, but it is what it is. But even though Stafford got injured, he had 2,087 passing yards. He was 27th in passing yards. Rushing yards, he was tied 27th. Points for, he was 27th, and then there was 11th for points for, there was tied 17th, and then points against tied 11th. What did he need in this draft? Like I said, they need to trade a couple of these players away so they can get some more draft capital, not for just 2023, but 2024 and 2025. They need an edge. They need an offensive tackle and inside linebacker. They didn't replace Andrew Whiteworth. He retired after the Super Bowl 2021. That's a big loss for them, so they need an edge. Need an offensive tackle, need an inside linebacker, need to work on the trenches and helping that, but need a cornerback to defensive line, safety, and a running back. And they don't have a first round or second round pick. Bit of a thing going on. So what can they do? If they, I guess, if they trade away a couple of these players that I've said, maybe they can get enough money to get Lamar Jackson in. I know I keep saying like, oh, Lamar Jackson's going to go wherever. I don't know where it's going to go. Time of recording this video, I don't know if he's signed a deal with the Ravens or not. But if he hasn't, you look at Stafford's 36 now. You look at Lamar Jackson, he's 27, 28. Go for him. So, anyway guys, that's my Los Angeles Rams 2022 season recap.